Hi, and welcome to A Caring Place. I am the Reverend Esther Hurlburt. I am a Unitarian Universalist community minister with a passion for aging, and I am a professional geriatric care manager. Therefore, I'm always on the lookout for innovative programs that promote dignified ways of growing old. A few years ago, I became acquainted with A Caring Place located in Lexington, Kentucky. A Caring Place is a grassroots, interfaith, not for profit, donation funded program, and it's run solely by volunteers. From the very first day, A Caring Place has been run on a shoestring budget, but it's been run with a wealth of genuine commitment from its cadre of volunteers. One of the most important things I want this audience to appreciate is how it is possible to serve a community without fancy bells and whistles or huge amounts of money. I invite you to listen carefully to learn how A Caring Place has launched an incredibly successful program, learning as they went to serve people who are suffering from loneliness. Enjoy our program presented to you in the style in which our program operates, that is, with enthusiasm, commitment, and the knowledge that indeed we are never alone when we commit ourselves to serving others.
Hello, I am Roxanne Cheney, the founder of A Caring Place. We understand that loneliness is that deep spiritual longing for meaningful connection through authentic friendships. Even prior to the pandemic, we found that loneliness was all too prevalent, particularly for the aged and people with disabilities. Without these life-giving personal connections, loneliness results in physical, spiritual, and emotional pain. Indeed, we understand prolonged loneliness is life-threatening. So we decided to do something about it. We knew that there was no pills, no simple platitudes, and no single therapy to cure loneliness. The only thing we know that helps is authentic friendships. Without true friendships, hearts can and do break. Our mission is to create communities of friendship in which people who experience loneliness can develop nurturing relationships. Our program is not well funded, yet we have managed to promote meaningful communities relatively in inexpensive ways. A Caring Place is a place to visit, a place to seek answers, a place for coffee, a place to pray, a place to drop in and just say hi, a place to discuss personal problems, a place to laugh and to cry, in a safety net of concern. Engaging with professionals in aging services was mandatory for us to explain our mission and was very helpful. It was not long before word got out and we soon gained traction in name recognition and respect for our work. Social service agencies, medical centers, and the Lexington Senior Center regularly referred participants, and some folks found us on their own. Our original intent was to offer space in a local church for people to drop in for conversation with a beverage and snacks, and to offer weekly phone contact with people who were homebound. We were not open for very long before the pandemic hit. And then, like the rest of the world, we had to make major changes.
A Caring Place changed the instant the pandemic arrived. As we worked to create communities, our participants taught us what we needed to know. So we have always been a work in process and a creative work based on what we are told is needed. We began by connecting people that good old-fashioned way, that is, by telephone. We recruited volunteers to make phone calls to folks who were isolated and needed meaningful conversation. We taught volunteers how to have a conversation. It was not like talking to a therapist. Rather, it was like talking with a new friend about anything from baseball scores to the arrival of a new grandbaby or the results of our terrible ice storm. Just imagine how a simple conversation about life events can stimulate the mind, body, and spirit. And even through the telephone wires, it was possible to create meaningful relationships.
Not unlike the rest of the world, we at A Caring Place had to figure out how to use Zoom. And we had to figure it out how to help our participants get the necessary equipment and learn how to use Zoom too. Yet we managed to do this very challenging process. We soon learned to use Zoom as a platform for creating more than one vital and life-giving communities. While many people find Zoom too impersonal, we found that it was a functional way to promote meaningful relationships, even with strangers. Small groups allowed for intimate conversation. Larger groups could discuss a specific topic. These virtual meetings are led by a group leader to facilitate conversation in which everyone can participate. And through these gatherings, we have tangibly saw the blurring between volunteer and participant as everyone contributes their unique stories to share. We all enjoy it. We all have fun.
We learned that some people just wanted to be with others who could be quiet with them. So we created meditation and mindfulness groups in which participants could learn to meditate or pray with each other. These groups were led by a psychologist with expertise in mindful meditation.
As our virtual communities developed, we learned that isolation leads to lack of physical activity. We know what happens when we sit too much and move too little. So in order to feed both minds and bodies, we created special groups for movement and exercise, which are led by trained therapists.
It's nearly impossible to feed the soul when the stomach is empty. We learned that 30% of our participants were food deprived, poor, and nowhere to turn for food. So we fed them. And by divine intervention, the money to feed our participants arrived in an anonymous plain white envelope shoved under the door of our church. When this happened, we knew we were on the right path. We are a living example of what it means to share the loaves and the fishes.
Many of our participants wanted and needed something to do which was meaningful, something which made them feel useful, and many missed being with children. As a result, we started the Read On program, which paired participants with children to whom they could read to over the phone or by Zoom. Talk about a win-win for both participant and child.
During our outreach, another very cool thing happened. We met members of the local chapter of the Youth Movement Against Alzheimer's. These young university students have since become an integral part of our volunteer force and have added a significant health benefit of an intergenerational approach that has been mutually transformative.
We are blessed to be a blessing to others. We rejoice in the outcome of our work, knowing that our communities have provided not only meaning, but true joy to people who have participated. We set our goal to serve people who may be lonely and to serve them with authentic friendships. And when we say we created authentic relationships, we mean it. We promoted all kinds of friendships. Imagine friendships between strangers, friendships between volunteers and participants, and friendships between old and young.
We are not done. We learn as we go, and we are each other's teachers. We want to share our success in minimizing loneliness and teaching our participants that they are indeed not alone. It's not necessary to have a lot of money, although that certainly helps, to create a meaningful community. But it does take commitment and belief that such a mission is possible. We would be delighted to share our ideas with you, and we would love to hear your ideas. So contact us. Thank you.
So I'm Roxanne, and again, I just want to welcome all of you. Please come to our website and join us.
Hi, I'm the Reverend Esther Hurlbert, and I am proud to be a consultant for A Caring Place, and I am incredibly proud of the work they have accomplished during this pandemic. And now that the pandemic is easing, just look out because you just don't know what great things are yet to come. Bye now.